Hey, Terry, I'm super pumped about today's show because we are talking about one of the most interesting parts of Europe.
Where might that be?
We're going to northern Switzerland and southern Germany, the Bavarian region. Let's get started.
Let's go.
Cue the music. So, Terry, today we're going to be talking about a super cool area of Europe, the southern region of Germany called Bavaria, and the northern area of Switzerland, which has a couple of super cool cities.
I'm super excited about this. Let me tell you, my knowledge of Switzerland stops when I was 16 in Geneva. My experience in Geneva, Switzerland was when I was 16 years old on a high school sponsored foreign language trip. And the cool thing we found out that there was no drinking age.
What?
Yes. So I'm going to leave that as my experience for Geneva, Switzerland.
I hear you.
So I've got a lot of questions for you. So I'm going to be learning as we all go along.
You got it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First thing I want to do is I want to rank the cities because there are some cities we want to put. 4, not our favorite. 3, okay. 2, we're going to go to. And 1, super best.
That sounds good.
You ready?
You know what? Before we start on that, I do want to say northern Switzerland is modern Europe. It's not going to be a ton of the quaint stuff that you're used to. As a matter of fact, you're going to see Europe at its most efficient in this area. It's a bit like the highways in New England, sometimes picturesque and sometimes full of commercial buildings. All of the cities that we talk about today are all about an hour to an hour and a half away from each other by that ever efficient Swiss train. So I'm ready to hear what city you want to start with.
Okay, fair enough. Now I'm gonna apologize right now if I mispronounce. Alex, correct me. Okay, the first city of choice is Basel.
Basel, toward the west, is where the Rhine River ends. And Basel is a super art centric river port where so many of those river cruises start or end their voyage. With a few sights to see, Basel is a one and done kind of town unless you're super interested in art or pharmaceuticals, because that is where they are created in Basel, Switzerland.
Hello.
That's what I'm saying. And walking through the busy downtown makes this working city a bit of a cement jungle. It's not very charming. So I would rank this a 4 out of the choices that we're going to talk about today. Much of the old world charm and the creative art lies just under the surface past the utilitarian feel. I would use it as a transportation hub. Look for Basel to host the best festivals, though, and some of the best outdoor art. Take a walk around the historic area for a few old world gems, including the town hall. Maybe stop at one of the many cosmopolitan stores and grab lunch from the deli so you can sit by a fountain. Above all, know where the train station is so that you can catch your train to your next destination. Basel, a 4.
Okay, so for me, with my adult ADHD, this is what I take from this. If I'm interested in pharmaceuticals and an industrial city, Basel is my place to go.
And modern art. Yes. Yeah, those 3 things make up Basel, for sure.
Breaking it down for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go as our next city.
Mhm.
Zurich.
So, Zurich, I would rank number 3 in our choices here. There are lots of buildings that makes it feel a bit like a cement jungle, but down on the lakeside, you may find something that's a little more pleasing to the eye. It's kind of hard to find everything that's plastered all over Instagram, though, here. And the downtown and cement laden suburbs are built for Swiss efficiency and modern living. That said, as always, the local people are so Very nice, and it makes the experience beyond worth it. This is a great layover city. 24 hours in Zurich is perfect. Enjoy a walk through the downtown lakefront where that old world charm is while you wait for your plane. The food is unbelievable, and the ever efficient Swiss train system will get you right where you need to be, including the airport.
Okay, so I'm hearing this is kind of like an okay one-day visit, using it as a jump-off spot, somewhat say.
Mhm.
Now, when I think of Zurich, do I think of Olympics for some reason?
Well,
Was there an Olympics in Zurich?
I think maybe I don't know, we'll have to look
We
that
need
up.
to research that. It just
We will bing that right in.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, number 3.
Mhm.
So we gave let me just get this straight. We gave Zurich a 3.
We gave Zurich a 3.
Now, I'm gonna try this name, and I'm hoping I'm gonna get it right.
Okay.
Lucerne
Or Lucerne,
or Lucerne.
or
Okay,
Lucerne.
I'm
Ki
French.
Exactly.
Eh,
Well, you just added more vowels, so
there you go.
it worked out well for you. Here's the deal. Lucerne is what you think of when you think of Switzerland. It is lakefront perfection. This gateway to the south of Switzerland does not disappoint. The entire lakefront and riverside areas, as well as the surrounding countryside, are perfect for a day trip. You could spend a good 2 days in this area
Okay.
and just smile the entire time. The food is great. You're super close to Italy now, by the way. So keep
What?
that in mind. And it is totally walkable once you get in there. As a matter of fact, even the train station itself is lakeside. It's
Oh,
that
wow.
beautiful. I would highly recommend using the Rick Steves walking tour to enjoy a lap around the historic old city, including those iconic covered bridges that you think of.
Mhm.
I would enjoy a cruise on the lake, whether taking a charter or using your own power. They have paddle boats, they have kayaks. There's plenty of things to do with that. And there's plenty to do to get up in the mountains. Definitely, out of the choices that we're talking about today, this gets a strong 2. It's a day trip.
And
Perfect.
Rick Steves, he's not gonna misguide you. Ha 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 ha! Use his
I
guidebook.
like that. I have to tell you, we used his walking tour. It literally had you walk off your train and it brought you clockwise around the city and showed you absolutely everything and literally said, "Now stop and choose a restaurant right here for lunch."
Oh, that's the
It
best.
couldn't have been better. He did such a good job on that one.
And you know me with my ADHD, I'm gonna circle back,
Mhm.
and when I said Zurich and Olympics, I think I meant Munich because it's the ick on the end.
It is an ick.
So there you go. There you go.
Bing, we solved it.
All right. Last but not least,
Mhm.
which I have a feeling deep in my heart, this is going to be the number uno, is Bern.
Un on the list, definitely by far Bern, which is full of bears. Bern means bear, and boasts an unbelievably beautiful river in the R River, is a capital and well worth the time. The picturesque streets are Instagram worthy, that they begin at the main train station and they continue all the way to the river with views that are full of interesting sights, including the parliament, wonderful shops, amazing restaurants and stores. Totally worth it. Bern is the perfect getaway to the south because it's right at the end of that northern region and sits pretty central to the country. So it's a great home base to go either north or south into maybe those more popular areas that people think about. I would make it a home base for many of your day trips by train, whether that's to Lucerne, down to Geneva. There's plenty of things to do in that area. Here are things to definitely do in Bern. Check in with the Bern Bear. He's super cute and he's got a new girlfriend these days. We love that. He lives down on the river. Enjoy the Riverside Square up high, that's behind the cathedral. They have a tiny little library there, or you can take on a game of Patong with the locals. They will be happy to include you. This square was just perfection. Or I highly recommend this. Take a swim right down the river like the locals. They hop in with a waterproof bag with their suit or their dress clothes from work, and that is their commute home. They use the rapids to go home.
Do you have to wear a swimsuit?
You do have to wear a
Okay.
swimsuit there, although I can understand because we're getting ready to go to Munich, not so much there.
Another question. You says it's full of bears. Are you talking literal?
No, I'm talking there's 2 bears that are
Okay.
alive, but the symbol of the town is the burn bear.
Okay, I had to, wrap my brain around
I
that
hear you, I
because I'm
hear you.
swimming
You're
down
swimming.
the river. Are there bears gonna get me? I didn't know.
Help me, help me.
Okay, so we have our top 4 ranking places.
Mhm.
So now what's gonna be better for us? Trains or a rental car?
I think you are in the heart of using the train system in Europe.
It sounds like it to me.
The stations are magnificent. They're tourist attractions in themselves
Just a
there.
treat.
It is. Walk and use the train for sure. You'll love it.
Okay.
You'll love it.
Now, we had 4 areas here, and now I wanna know, where am I gonna base out of Switzerland? What's gonna be home base for me?
I think definitely home base should be Bern. You're not more than 2 hours away from anything that you really truly wanna do, with the exception of getting down closer to Italy and the Glacier Express. That may be a little bit further, but other than that, you're less than 2 hours away from everything else, and you can enjoy all those other cities that we talked about while still basing yourself in Bern. So I do think Bern might be the best choice, north or south.
Now, before we leave Switzerland,
Mhm.
tell us the 5 best things to do in Switzerland.
I will say there are some amazing adventures, and if you watch The Amazing Race, they're always up to something in
Mm,
Switzerland, right? Here are the things that I would do. I would swim the river in Bern. You hold on to a bar, and then the current, which is rapid, will take you down, and you just need to make sure that you don't miss the last bar because then you're on your own because you've gotta catch the bar to get out. So
woo! I can't
yes.
imagine if I have groceries with me. Hope they have Instacart
I
there.
hope they have Instacart. I would totally do that. I would go this is the one thing we're gonna talk about to the south. In Berryland, there are the Berryland dogs, which is the original Saint Bernard association, and they want you to come in and meet their little new friends and play with the Saint Bernard puppy. Come on, we're in
Uh,
Switzerland. I'm going
can
south for
do
that.
they have the little jugs under their necks?
Contrary to popular belief, no brandy on their necks, but they are amazing, sweet babies that need to be held at all times.
Can we bring one home?
They are being trained to help out in the mountains, and they
Okay.
are actually named after Saint Bernard and the Saint Bernard Pass that goes through the Alp mountains that
Or
are
maybe
there.
they have one that doesn't like the cold weather and I could take that one
I
home.
mean, the special needs one can come with us
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Whoever fails, we'll take them. Yeah, we are teachers after all.
Yes, we are.
The next thing I would do is ride an alpine coaster. And you could do this just outside of Lucerne. There's a great place there to do that. And I would definitely make sure to take a train from city to city. I really can't say enough about the Swiss trains. And let me say this, if a Swiss train is late by more than 30 seconds, you will get a coupon for a free cup of coffee. If a Swiss train is late by more than 5 minutes, you will get a ticket for a free ride on a free one-way ticket. That's how serious they are about keeping Swiss time.
Question.
Yes.
I have 2 basically.
Mhm.
The Alpine coasters,
Mhm.
are they built for different size people?
I think I hear what you're saying. I think I will tell you, I put my fat bottom,
Because you're a
Freddie,
fat bottom
no,
girl.
fat bottom girl, I put that on the Alpine coaster and enjoyed it immensely. Yes, you can do it.
And second
Go
question,
for it.
if my train is late by 5 seconds, I get a free cup of coffee, correct? A coupon.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, excuse me, 30 seconds.
Mhm.
30 seconds, 5 minutes. Okay,
Yes.
30 seconds. Can I get a Diet Coke?
Okay, so there's no Diet Coke in Europe, but there is Coke Zero,
Woo!
which
Okay.
tastes good too. I know, breathe through it, breathe through it.
Okay, I'm good. So now we're going to Bavaria.
Mhm.
Give us some info.
Well, Zurich and Bavaria are super well connected through Highway 1 and the Bavarian Mountain Pass via Austria. It's a great 4-hour drive without traffic, 5-hour drive with traffic, I would say. You pass by Lake Constance, which supplies the Rhine River, and Bavaria is just on the other side of the Tyrolean Mountains.
That sounds like a road trip.
It is a road trip, girl.
Your mom loves road
Yes, she
trips.
does.
Okay.
I put her in the car. She was the worst navigator this time around. Woo.
Okay. So check, check. We're going to need a car.
Mhm.
All right. Where are we going to base ourselves out of?
Well, Bavaria is the southernmost region in Germany and is full of plenty of small hamlets to choose from and snaking mountain roads that lead to little tucked away jewels and iconic fairy tale dazzlers. To get everything in, you are going to need a car there. And I would say I would base myself either from the west in Fusen or toward the east of the area in Garmisch. Both are super tourist friendly and both give you a chance to have the most reasonable car trips to each of the places that you're going to go check out of.
Okay. So tell me about some icons. Let's talk about icons when we think of Bavaria and southern Germany.
I think if there's 3 words that we can say that sum up Bavaria, it's going to be Neuschwanstein, it's going to be Zugspitze, and it's going to be Munich. We'll talk about Munich later, but let's get into that first multisyllabic word, Neuschwanstein, and its little brother, Hohenschwangau. And these are the castles that you think of when you see those pictures of Bavaria. It is the castle that the Sleeping Beauty castle was based off of that Disney kind of thought up in his
You
mind.
just answered it all for me right there.
There you go. It's 2 castles in this one location, far closer to Fusen than to Garmisch, and they were made by Mad King Ludwig. He left us 3 residences in the Bavarian Hills, and these are the most popular of them. Ludwig had a grand time spending everybody's tax money on the
How kind
bigger
of him.
he was so kind, on the bigger and newer Neuschwanstein, which means new swan home. And he built it right above his boyhood home, which is the Hohenschwangau Castle. When Ludwig's father, Ludwig, died, he wound up starting to build this huge castle on the hill. It's the one we think of. He happened to be besties with Richard Wagner, the composer. He did Ride of the Valkyries, dun 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 dun. That
Yes.
guy,
Yep. Okay.
okay? And he did a lot of themed rooms in his castle. One is a grotto to swans, one is part of the Ride of the Valkyries, one is they're all based on Wagner's operas. He was losing his mind. They think he had syphilis.
Listen, though, I really think he might have been before his time
Isn't that what we do these
because,
days?
Disney now has themed hotels.
I think he and Disney would have been friends.
Stolen idea right here.
There it is. This is where Disney got it from. And he themed so many of the rooms after his music that it kind of became a little bit difficult to live there.
I can imagine.
Now, Mad King Ludwig winds up being removed from the throne as the Bavarian king because he's going nuts. And the castle,
Due to the syphilis?
maybe, and the castle never gets finished. As a matter of fact, only one third of the castle is actually done. The
Oh.
rest is still in a state of construction. And within 18 years of him dying, and think about that, within 18 years of him dying, his private residence is now one of the biggest tourist attractions on the Grand Tour. That's what kind of makes it even more interesting. So you can go to both of them, park, walk, get ready to really walk in this particular place. There's a switchback road that gets you up to the big castle and a winding road that you have to walk up. It's a hike.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other place that I think people think about, and this might be for the more outdoorsy types, is the Zugspitze, which is the largest, tallest mountain in Germany. It's part of the Tyrolean Alps, and it is an amazing ride up there on a state of the art vernacular that takes you past Lake Elbsee. And this is the German-Austrian border. Back in the day before the European Union, you could actually get your passport stamped at the top of this mountain and pass from Germany to Austria or Austria to Germany. There's a lot up there. There's a religious area. You can go over to the Australian, bing,
Bing.
the Austrian side and see their facility that's at the top, or you can go to the German side and see their facility. It has a small exhibit, 2 restaurants, an outdoor area to enjoy. You can go up there no matter who you are. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how would you spend a day in Bavaria?
I think that Bavaria is one of those places where you'd wake up and wherever you're staying, get yourself some breakfast, and you're going to get on the road to maybe some of the smaller finds that are out there. There are quite a few really beautiful places to stop. I think probably one of the coolest is called the Wieskirche, which means white church. It's a late Baroque piece of brilliance when in the art world. It's known throughout the region as a pilgrimage point for a peasant statue that cried in 1738. The church is filled with unbelievable symbolism that you tend not to find in Catholic sanctuaries, including a pelican and a rainbow and the doors to heaven, which are amazingly done on the ceiling. As anybody who has been in any of these pieces of architecture, the rule is always look up first because the ceilings are just amazing.
Okay.
Totally worth it if that's your thing. I think that's a great place to go. So I may start the morning and go and see something like that, drive and have lunch someplace, and then maybe choose another smaller area to go to, perhaps Linderhof Palace, which is Ludwig's third residence in the area and the one he actually spent most of his time in. It's far smaller than the other two. It's a beautiful national park area, and it is a tiny model of Versailles.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't take up very much area at all, and it is not as popular. However, it is on the road toward Fusen, and the grounds offer an incredible day of mild hiking.
I like the word mild.
Yes.
I think the next little area you're going to talk about is going to little spark it's going to spark my interest.
I can't imagine why. Let me say the following things to you.
Yes.
Holy cows,
Yes.
holy brew,
Holy cheese.
holy cheese, holy distillery. The Atal Abbey is very holy. It is an incredible piece of architecture of the late Baroque and early Rococo era, and it is top-notch as a destination for all of the things we mentioned, including those sweet, sweet cows providing our cheese, and It is one of the best gift shops in the
I'm
area.
there. You know I'm
You
there.
know we're there. The brothers are there, they're helping us out. They're selling us all the things
All
from
things cows.
holy pencils to holy beer to it was amazing. They have holy books there.
We
Amazing. It was amazing. It was totally worth the small amount of time it took to see it, enjoy the gift shop, and right across the street are 3 wonderful little restaurants where you can order your Wiener Schnitzel lunch.
did they serve Swiss cheese?
Do they?
It's holy.
Oh my god, she's so funny.
Sorry.
No, it was good, it was
Pull us
good.
back. Pull us back.
Okay.
Okay.
The last place that I think may be good for a day is Oberammergau. And Oberammergau is a little town famous for its unbelievably big production. Every 10 years, the entire town gets together to put on a play of epic proportions. They reenact the Passion of Easter. For over 5 hours, more than 2,000 actors reenact the last days of Jesus Christ. They have been doing this since the 1630s as a vow of piety to never encounter the bubonic plague again. Um, so they didn't get that plague back. But you want to know what happened?
They got the COVID.
They got the COVID, and it has only been canceled twice due to war and only postponed 4 times due to war or COVID. Look for the Passion to return this year in 2022, but don't worry, there's a lunch break and a follow along guide to help get you through your 5 hours of seeing the Passion play.
Woo!
Woo!
Wow.
Uh,
Okay. Our day looks slam
It
packed.
is slam packed. I would choose no more than 2 things to do in a day.
You know my choice. My first number one choice. I'm going to Holy Cows.
We're going to the Holy Cows. They
And
were
then I
so
may
cute.
need to go see the Passion of Easter. Okay, let's get outside now.
Okay.
What are some of the venues that offer more than just a stroll?
Listen, Bavaria is full of unbelievably cool outdoor experiences, and we're going to give you an entire breakdown in our show notes with a link to a list of all of the outdoor activities that you can do. But I do want to point out too, besides the Zugspitze, which you can climb on with no problem, and in the winter ski, this is a mecca for winter sports. You can look at the Hollentalkum as a beginning hiker course that could be your first look at this cool idea of canyoning. Now, if you've ever watched The Amazing Race, I'm going to circle back there because they like this.
Uh-huh.
They like this on The Amazing Race. Canyoning is where you kind of hike, slide, climb, and make your way from point A to point B through water and hills in a specific area. You follow a guide in a specific path. There could be zip lining involved. This is a beginner course in that to see if that would be something you would like to do and hire a private guide in either Switzerland or Germany or Austria to do those things.
Is there medical personnel available?
Your guide is able to help you medically along the way.
Okay.
I don't think they can help you with whether or not you're verklempt or not, but I think they can help you if you get a boo-boo.
Okay.
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 Another area that you might want to look into is called Area 47. It's an outdoor fun zone with ski jumps that double as water slides. That's right. When you were talking about the Munich Olympics before, these are the ski jumps that were used, and now you can go and enjoy them. Another part of that particular facility are the rope courses and the zip lines, plenty of stuff for everybody to do, including the kiddos, a great place to bring them. So remember, we're going to give you an entire detailed list of all of the outdoor activities you can do in this incredible region of Germany.
Now that we have finished our little visit here in this area, Where can I head to next?
Well, I think one of the things that we've left out, and we said we were going to come back to it, was Munich, which is the capital of the Bavarian region. And while all of the things that we talked about are to the south of Munich and can be accessed from Munich by train, Munich is a place that you may fly in or out of, like Zurich. So we want to make sure that we include Munich, which includes the amazing Hofbrauhaus, where you want to get your stein of brew, right? The Glockenspiel in the town center. And I have to tell you, they have the most amazing park, which is kind of Munich's answer to Central Park. This is where bathing suits are optional, Terry.
That's where we're going.
They like to sit in the sunshine and make sure that every part of them gets a little vitamin D from the
They
sunshine.
don't want strap marks.
They don't. One of the coolest things that's there, though, is there is a part of the water system in Munich that comes right into the park, and it creates an eternal wave. And there are surfers right there that you can go watch on this particular wave, and they hop in, they surf for a couple of seconds, they wipe out. It's the next person's turn. It's so much fun to watch. We had such a good time watching them. And that area leads to a lazy river, which on a hot summer day is packed with locals.
Do you wear a bathing suit when you surf?
Yes, they wore a real.
And if we're in the lazy river,
Yes, the water was a little cold.
so it is could you get in without a bathing suit? Or is that frowned upon?
I don't know, I didn't get in, so I
Well,
didn't look close enough.
put that on our list to look at.
Put that on our list. Now, a couple of other places that you definitely wanna think about are going to pay your respects at Dachau,
Yes.
the concentration camp memorial, and you can definitely head on back south to Switzerland, right the way we came up, or you can go west by just an hour from Munich, and you are in beautiful Salzburg.
So many options.
So many. All right, Terry, let's wrap up today with a couple of great now boarding picks. Let's go and jump right in to our global book pick of the day.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So for me, when I'm looking for books, all books, it doesn't matter. I go to my all-time favorite Goodreads.
Yes.
And what I did is I just typed in Bavaria book list. And you are going to have so many selections from historical fiction like The Book Thief. And if you have not read that, shame on you. It's a classic.
It is.
You need to read it. You can have historical fiction, like I just said. There's book sets on the setting is in Munich.
Mhm.
You got even romance novels. You can get you some trashy Bavarian reads going on if that's the type of book you want to read.
And I have to tell you, speaking of that, I have a book to recommend called The Gilded Chalet by Pedrig Rooney. And let me tell you, this is set in Switzerland, and it is a great, juicy, whodunit, romancy kind of novel. It's modern, and it'll get you in the spirit of getting up there into the beautiful Swiss countryside.
Woo!
What's your travel tip when we're talking about either Switzerland or Bavaria?
Well, let me talk Switzerland. Let's eat chocolate.
Yes. Yes.
Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
All day.
Also, cheese.
Cheese. Holy cheese.
Holy cheese.
Yes.
Cheese, and chocolate.
That
And the other thing I want to say for a travel tip,
Mhm.
if you're in Switzerland, just go over there and buy you a Rolex.
Well, why not?
That's where they're made in
Why not?
Switzerland. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think you bring up a super good point. That Swiss area is not cheap.
No.
Bavaria is super reasonable, but Switzerland, you're gonna be paying some money to do what you wanna do there.
Mhm.
So, I would definitely be ready for that. You may not be able to afford the Rolex after all the stuff you do, though.
Yeah.
Now, I have 2 really good travel tips to help out. The first one is for all of our military families out there. Please know that you can enjoy one of the 4 flagship military resorts located around the world right in Garmisch in Bavaria. It is available to you just like the one in Korea or the one in Hawaii. They're all over the world. And I do want to let you know that it is super kid friendly. They have great tours to all kinds of indoor and outdoor activities and will give you directions to absolutely everything in the neighborhood. I do also need to really let you know
This is
there
for me.
this is for all of us. There is no AC at this particular facility. You are going to deal with Mother Nature, and I will say 360 days out of the year, that isn't even a thought that you need to worry about. It's those 5 super hot days in August.
And for us plus size travelers,
Mhm.
knowing about the AC is important.
Mhm. I will say this, we stayed there, they brought us 3 fans, so that air was moving in there, and they did at least do that. Every room came with a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I want to say is if you are going, especially in the summer, you're going to need rain gear, a good rain jacket, and seriously good broken in walking shoes are a must. You are climbing to places. A lot of these places do not fall under handicap accessible anything. And if you want to get to them and you want to explore them, you're going to have to use your own 2 feet. People power is what gets you there.
Okay.
Yeah. What about travel binges? What have you been up to?
Whenever we can, we're going to circle back to this as many times as possible. But I've been watching lately, rewatching Bohemian Rhapsody.
God bless Freddie Mercury right
But
there.
but let's tie this in so people are like, "Oh, y'all just trying to throw Queen in there, trying to throw Freddie."
Mhm.
Well, we all know when Freddie went a little cuckoo cuckoo solo, he recorded where?
Munich.
Munich. Hence, how do we tie him with this?
He was in
He
Munich.
was in Munich. Thank you, Freddie Mercury. R.I.P.
RIP. And I will say that I am going to tell you about this incredible YouTube video. We have talked about a couple of German words today. And if you've never compared the German multisyllabic words to words in other languages, this video will just give you a smile. It talks about the word like ambulance or butterfly and tells it to you in a couple of languages and then tells it to you in German. And man, the difference.
Sounds like they're angry at you.
Everything sounds very aggressive and angry. I have to say, though, I found it very funny. So we'll link that in our show notes as well.
Now, let's talk about some travel tech.
You got it.
Well, we all know we're thinking of Munich and we think Germany. Well, what do you think of?
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. So there is a website,
Mhm,
oktoberfest.de.
mhm.
And just so everyone knows, I think we're 174 days away.
Oh, as of the recording, we are.
As of the recording, we are 174 days away from Oktoberfest. Who didn't want to know that? Who didn't want to know it? 174 days away. You can go to this website, which is super easy to use. You can switch it over to your English language,
There you go.
which at first, when I was looking at it, I was a little confused.
Mhm.
174 days, 19 hours, 12 minutes.
There it is.
But it gives you all the information, things that are going to be there that are going to be available as far as like food and rides and amusement and entertainment. And on this website, so you are prepared.
Because it is an experience to go.
It is an experience. You want to have your official Stein. Now, don't get confused because the website says mug.
That Google Translate.
Yes, you want to be prepared and have your Oktoberfest Stein ready.
Amen.
Yes.
I would wanna be prepared for everything Oktoberfest because it's crazy.
Music.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, pretzels.
They are so
'Cause
good.
what goes with beer?
Pretzels.
Pretzels.
Mhm. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap up our now boarding with my travel tech pick, which is an app called My Switzerland. And it is the quintessential planning app and tells you about everything that's available in Switzerland. It's run by the Swiss government, and they do such a good job through their Bureau of Tourism in making sure that you know all of your options to go in there. So it's kind of a one stop shop to make sure that you're getting the most out of all of your time there and you can plan accordingly. What a great episode about an incredibly, maybe underrepresented part of Europe that is totally worth our time. The travel industry has taken quite a blow from several global issues, including the war in Ukraine, the COVID-19 crisis, and inflation, that makes it hard for people to get out into the world like they want to. At this point, leading experts are predicting that it is going to take up to 3 years for the travel industry to bounce back to full force. One way that you can help it is to like and subscribe to 10 microbloggers. Start with us. You can like and subscribe to our podcast and our website so that you can tell the travel industry that people are still interested in travel. So, Terry, how can listeners get a hold of us?
We'd like to hear from you. Contact us at babciaandyiayia@gmail.com with your questions, suggestions, favorite travel tips, products, and travel trends so that we can share your ideas in the future. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Here you go, guys. Babshi and Yaya. BABCIA and YIAYIA.
babciaandyiayia.com is the home base for everything that we love about travel. And it's where we store our show notes as well as many of the resources that we offer to our travel community, including travel literacy for the kiddos. We always have new posts about all the things we love and about all the travel we're up to, including today's topic, as well as features on destinations, travel lifestyle, and stories to make you smile.
Don't- Didn't get all that? Just check out our show notes for all of the ways to stay in touch and links to anything we chatted about in this episode. As always, thanks for joining us for our journey.